Welcome to the Sabrina Show. I am your host, Sabrina. I have just had the most fun conversation with my lovely friend Jasmin. We spoke sisterhood, we spoke Instagram, we spoke bitchy Asian women. We spilt the tea. I'm so excited for you to catch this episode. Let me know what you think in the comments. Enjoy. My girl Jasmin is here. I am so excited to have you here.
I'm excited to be here.
How are you?
I'm all good.
You know we're going to be getting down and dirty.
As we always do.
It's going to be super exciting. Look, let's get straight to it. Let's not waste no time.
Go on.
You recently had a beautiful baby girl.
3 years now, bruv.
Yeah, actually, oh my God, it has been 3 years.
I know,
oh my
crazy.
God, time flies.
Crazy, man.
And obviously you have two sons. What's their ages when Jay was born?
10 and 8. 10
And
8.
I don't want to be rude and ask a lady her age, but how old was you when you had Jaya?
I was 37.
Yeah.
37.
Yeah.
Yeah, 37. Yeah.
And I feel like many women are having kids later on in age. I feel like it's pretty like normalized now. Obviously, back in the day, people were having kids when like 18, 19 and whatnot. But what was that like for you?
It was exciting.
Yeah.
It was exciting. And I think the reason I probably left the gap so long, because I was just really anxious about how the outcome would be, obviously having the boys and then starting the business and stuff.
Yeah.
For me, I was just really nervous, like, how am I going to react? Because I did, suffer from anxiety and, postnatal depression after the boys. So I was just like, oh my God, am I ready to go down that route? Not saying that it would happen, but you just never know. And then when you have your business, it's like, that's on the forefront of your mind. How are you going to manage? And time was just ticking. And hubby actually said to me at 35, he was like, right, if you want it, we've got to do it now. And I was like, yeah, I ain't ready yet.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Obviously, it was planned, but it wasn't planned. And then when it happened. And it's like, it is what it is now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And also, I really, really, really wanted a girl. Yeah. And there was no guarantee it was going to be a goodie. Do you know what I mean? So I was just like, okay, it is what it is. We're gonna have to ride with the punches, whatever happens.
So beautiful Jay is now here. You've got this bundle of joy in your arms. Let's talk a little bit about the balance of now being a mum to like a 10-year-old and now a baby. What was that like?
So the oldest now is 13, going to be 14 in 2 weeks. And then I've got the middle one, he's 11, going to be 12. And then you've got Jaya, who's 3. So it is really hard. It's hard because you've got such a mixture of personalities and emotions and hormones. Yeah. But I would also say it's a blessing because the boys really do help. They help with the support and looking after her. But because they're so hormonal, it's like the things that they do and behave, I'm just like, no, you can't be doing that. She's a girl. You can't behave that way. Yeah. So it's testing. It's testing and it's tiring, Sabrina.
Obviously, it's testing and tiring for you because you have that juggle act. You're an entrepreneur as well. You run your own business. But I want to know, like, physically, do you feel a difference? Because I feel like a lot of women, like, when you have a kid at a later age, you can't keep up. Is that true? Yeah. Really?
I do feel that. Yeah. And I think a lot of it's got to do with health as well. So obviously when I had the boys, I was 26 when I had the eldest one. So it was, you're in your prime, you're quite young, etc. But then having Jaya at a later age, I think there's so many elements, like your priorities change, lifestyles change, but obviously just being older, you're tired. Yeah. You're very tired. You can't run the way you used to run when you were 25, 26. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I'm not able to physically keep up with her because I'm exhausted. I mean, I sleep trained him at 6 months. Yeah. I can't do that with her. She's still in my bed. Yeah. It's like, no thanks. Yeah, no thanks. But in my mind, I'm like, yeah, but it's all good because before you know it, she's not going to be wanting to hold my hand anymore. So just enjoy the time. So that's what I mean. I think with your first one, you're like, yes, it's got to be like this. By the time you've got your third one, it's like, yeah, whatever. Yeah. It is what it is kind of thing.
Exactly.
But you're physically tired and now you've got a household of kids. You've got business, you've got work, you've got family priorities. So taking time out for yourself, just to be you, it's almost like it's a distant memory.
Plus it's like a massive routine change, right?
Yeah.
And you're kind of like going back to sleep deprivation.
100%.
Back to changing nappies.
She's potty trained now.
Well, now she's potty trained, thank God. Yeah. I know that was a whole palaver within itself.
I know.
And you're going back, you're almost, I feel like a lot of women feel, and I know for me personally, when I had my second, even though there's 3 years apart, but I felt I was a little bit going back in time, just when I was getting my schedule right, my routine, I was back at work, and now all of a sudden I've got this little one that's relying on me for everything, and you kind of forget.
Yeah, you do. I mean, before having Jay, I was in my prime. I lost 5.5 stone, man. I was loving life. You know, I felt like I could run a marathon, go jump in with the boys. I'm the one jumping up and down. Literally after having Jay, it's like, I can't do none of that right now. Again, because your priorities change. You know, it's like, okay, kids, work, family. And then it's like, okay, everything else can kind of take a back seat. But now slowly, like I'm hoping from September onwards when she starts school, things will be a bit more easy. But then saying that, I'm very fortunate because I've got both mums. You know, I've got both mums that look after her throughout the week. So I'm still able to concentrate on my work.
And how important is it to have that level of support system around you?
If I didn't have it, I don't think I could do it.
Yeah,
I don't think I could have done it. No way.
And do you feel like your mental health or your mental checkup has caught up with the fact that now you're a mum of 3 and each of your kids, you know, require different things at different times?
I'm struggling.
Really?
Straight up struggling.
And I think many women are. Like, let's be real.
I think many women are, but also it's really sad because many women don't know it. And they don't know it and they're not, I say in tune is probably the wrong word, but they're not that aligned that they actually realise, hang on, something's not right. I'm not feeling right. And like I said, before having Jay, this was one of the things I was so worried about. Will postnatal depression kick in? Will anxiety kick in? And bruv, I've had all them feels and more since having her. Do you know what I mean? Because don't forget, she was born in the height of a pandemic.
Yes.
Literally in the height of a pandemic.
Yeah.
You know, so all of that, struggle's been real.
So what have you done to help yourself? And
I
to
got
overcome
you,
these
babe.
things?
I got you, babe. I think it is. It's just surrounding yourself with, you know, like-minded women, which will go on to.
Yes.
But like-minded women that are going to be there to support you and lift you up. But also saying that, you've also got to be their support as well.
Yes.
And I think sometimes I struggle with that. Like, I need the support, but I can't just give it all the time either. So it is really important that you surround yourself with women that understand your struggles and that are going to be there to hold your hand and always almost motivate you just to get through another day. It's okay. And entrepreneurship, it's freaking lonely, man.
Sorry to interrupt. There's a stigma around that when you you know, make friends later on in age, especially like I feel with like Asian women. I always hear this thing, oh, Asian women are bitchy. Asian women, you can't trust them. Oh, you know, when they're set in their ways, you just don't. Do you think this is real? Is this facts? Like, share some of your experiences.
I think you're going to have to, like, block the mic, man, because I'm effing and blinding.
No, we're here to spill the tea, honey. Spill it all.
So I was very sceptical, you know. So you actually came into my life when I was pregnant with JR. So it's been about 4 years now since I've known you. And I've always been very sceptical. But I think it's also because I work for myself and I work by myself. You're in your own thoughts, you're in your own mind. So, and when you are around other women, it's almost like, let's pull her down. Let's bring her down. She's too much on her high horse. So I very much believe that. I very much believe, yes, it is very catty out there. It's very dog eat dog. But there's hope.
There is hope.
Because when you come across women like yourself, like I've got to say, social media and my business, my entrepreneurship, it has led me to some beautiful women in my life, like absolutely beautiful women, which I can say have actually helped me in my path to where I am. But I also feel like when you reach a certain age and you are aligned within yourself, you kind of know what you want from that friendship and that relationship. But if you put yourself, I don't know if you really want to go down this route, but if
Let's do it.
If you put yourself in a room with women that claim to have a sisterhood, you know, and kind of like, we're all here supporting each other, and you're coming in as an outsider, but you don't feel no one's come to hold your hand, because remember, you don't know these women. You're gonna collect straight out, think, you know, what the hell have I got myself into? This ain't no sisterhood. You're a sisterhood within yourself. But a sisterhood actually has no boundaries. You're supporting women for no matter what walks of life they've come from, where they've come from, whether they've been in your journey or not. And that's hard to find.
at the end of the day, I think a lot of people have had different experiences with social media, just bringing it back to social media.
Yeah.
A lot of our connections, how we socialize, is through social media.
Yeah.
I know that there's so many groups and forums out there that people can connect to. And I know that speaking with a variety of women, a lot of people have had some ups and downs. So it depends on everyone's personal experiences.
Yeah, 100%.
With me personally, I've made, through different groups and
Yeah.
so forth, I've made some of the most closest friends.
So you love networking.
Yes.
That's you. You love networking. And as much as you tried to hold my hand, say, Jazz, no, come, I'm always like holding back.
Yeah.
And I can say I've probably been to 2 or 3 networking events with you. One was like absolute bakwas.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Polar
absolute
opposite expectations.
Completely. You're like hyping me up. Jazz, it's going to be amazing. You're going to meet some wicked women. Come in, then I'm like, what the siapa is this, bruv? Like, seriously? And then one of the other ones, I literally had an awakening.
Yeah.
So I think as a woman, you know, at the age of 30 plus, even 40 plus, give yourself that what's the word, Sabrina? That chance.
Yeah.
To be open.
Yeah.
Be open to it and just see what happens.
And that's what I was going to ask you, like, what advice would you give to women out there in their latter 30s, 40s? They're maybe at a point in their life where their kids are kind of on their feet and they want to go out there and they want to kind of find themselves again and they want to meet new people. What advice would you give them?
It's not too late. It's never too late. And I would say, you know what, give yourself the chance. Give yourself the opportunity. Like me and you with Bossy Mums, we're always here to talk, you know, we're always here to, you know, whatever it is you want to discuss. Just, yeah, give yourself the chance. Give yourself the chance. It is scary, Sabrina, because unless I have you, I ain't doing it. Yeah. I'm not doing it, because you do want to have someone that you know, at least, to come along with you. You know, it's nice to kind of have a bit of a, you're more so, you know, I don't give a shit, no one's there, I'm coming in, don't watch this space kind of thing. And as much as I can or try to be that, I know it's really stepping out of your comfort zone, which ultimately, we all know, stepping out your comfort zone only leads to good things. You know.
But, you know, I wasn't like this all the time.
No, I know.
You know, it's taken a lot of work. And you know that a lot of kind of inner work has to be done to kind of get you to the stage where you're just like, I don't care, I'm just going to go for it, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like once we kind of turn the light that we shine on everyone else onto ourselves, that's when the true magic happens. Yeah,
100%.
When we start putting ourselves at the forefront of everything that we want to do, be it pursuing passions, going for our dreams, hitting goals, that's when everything kind of aligns itself and the universe opens itself up to create opportunities and bring them.
100%.
However, saying all of that, I feel like women supporting women, and I know in some forums and in maybe in some groups, people may feel like it doesn't exist. But for me, I feel like it does exist. I feel like you support me. I have other friends that constantly
support me. But you've had to dig your way through to find those women.
Yes.
So remember, you can't just go into some form of, I don't know, some form of group or what's the other word? I don't even know. But some big kind of female empowerment group or whatever, and think, right, these are all going to be my ride or dies. They're all going to hold me up and, you know, lift me up. Ain't going to happen, bruv.
No.
You got to find the woman that, you know what, that you have that kind of bond with, that vibe with. They've got to be on your same level. Do you know what I mean? And don't forget, all these women, they're going to be completely different, but they're going to meet certain parts of your needs. And that's why you're drawn to them, and they, you know, you hold them close. But look how many people you've had to speak to throughout your journey of networking to get that group of strong women.
Do you think there's a certain level of expectation when we meet people?
For what?
For like, so say for instance, you're at a networking event, or you're out with a group of women that you've met do we have expectations that we should be kind of going out of our way to establish strong connections, and then we get disappointed when that doesn't happen?
No, not really. I think it's everyone's each to their own, isn't it? I mean, you could say, so the first networking event I went to, I did have an expectation that, you know, it's going to be really fun.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's going to kind of be on that same vibe, and, you know, we're all going to get along, and maybe not get along, but it's going to be pleasant. You know, a nice environment.
Yeah.
But bruv, when I walked in, it was just Catty all round, and I was like, what the hell have I come into? Like, you know, it's like little groups here, little groups there, and it's like you're coming in, you don't know what's what. Yeah. And I didn't feel that. So, you know, yes, you could say my expectation was I'm going to be welcomed with open arms.
Yeah.
But actually, it was almost like, yeah, who are you?
But for a lot of women, like putting themselves in that experience is really daunting, and it can put them off for life.
Yeah. But no,
you know?
Yeah.
So what made you say, actually, you know what, I'm going to give this a try again?
I think it was just the two different kind of ends of the spectrum. You know what I mean? Both kind of saying that they're the same thing, but in different ways. And obviously you, innit, dragging me along. You dragged my ass to this. You got cam. And I'm so glad I did. I'm so glad I did, because although I can't say I've taken away friendships from it, because that's not what my purpose was to go there. Yeah. As much as I might have wanted to, don't get me wrong, like, yes, I knew quite a few women there, etc. My purpose was going in was just be open-minded. And I came away from that feeling I gained so much more than what any kind of friendship could give me. And that was almost like a spiritual alignment. Yeah. Like a realization to, you know what, yes, I'm human. Yes, I'm here. I might be a mum. I might be an entrepreneur, you know, but above all, I am me. And I have a purpose in this world and in this life. And I'm going to live that purpose. Don't get me wrong. I've not been practicing it every day since. Yeah. But the fact that kind of happened to me, it's almost like there was a reason why I went to that. And I'm glad I did.
You know, obviously I'm focusing on, you know, taking into account our beautiful ages, you know. We are women of experience. But there is obstacles that women face later on in life when they try to kind of make friends or be a part of a sisterhood. What's some of those obstacles been for you? Is it the lack of time, the fact that you're juggling so many different priorities, our mindset? I think as women, we, without realizing it, we put ourselves on the back burner. Yeah. Our needs, they come, you know, way at the back before our families. So what's been some major obstacles for you?
I'll definitely say everything you just mentioned. Everything, time, putting yourself on the back burner. But also, you know, you just get comfortable with what you know. You get comfortable with what you know. It's like, again, you got to remember, I'm coming from a different walk of life. You know, it's somebody else might be sitting on this couch with you that's come from a corporate world and, you know, has lots of friends where they work, etc. I'm on my own. I've been working on my own for 10 years, Sabrina. I don't have somebody there whipping my buttercream or making my cakes I can have a good old chat with. Yeah. So when you're on your own, you remember all the conversations you're having is with yourself all the time. And they're not always the best conversations. So it's almost like sometimes you think, you know what, I'm just comfortable, and anxiety will kick in. You're just like, really, do I want to kind of step out of this comfort zone and possibly be dragged through the mud? You know, someone might say something that's not going to sit well with me and I might be upset with it and it might kind of tear me down, etc. So time definitely comes into it. Priorities definitely come into it. I wouldn't say it's a case of, you know, I don't think I'm worthy of it, because I do think I'm worthy of it. I think for me right now, it's just having that kind of realization that, you know what, Jazz, you've got to do some more for yourself. You know, you're a people person. You love, like, I can sit on the phone to you and speak to you for 3 hours. You know, we can talk absolute dirty, but we just sit there and talk, and that makes me happy. Yeah. You know, no matter what kind of conversation is. So for me, there are so many factors that contribute to why women probably at our age don't, you know, step out and do something.
I think one of the biggest things is about vulnerability. Yeah. I think later on in life, like you say, we get almost stuck in our ways, in our routines. Now, all of a sudden, we're putting ourselves out there. We're sharing hopes, desires, pitfalls, the wrongs, the rights of our life. And when you expose yourself in that way, you become very vulnerable. Yeah. Being really vulnerable is scary.
So for you, this is literally what you're going through right now, in one sense. Do you know what I mean? On this journey, it is really scary. But I think I always say to you as well, like, who are you in competition with, bruv? Like, do you know what I mean? Who are you in competition with? This is your journey. Does it really matter? Like, if somebody's going to like you, they're going to like you. If they're not, they're going to scroll on. And that's all good. Do you know what I mean? So for me, I don't think for, like, making friends and stuff, I don't think it's so much the vulnerability. But that's just for me. I know for a lot of other women, yes, it is. But come on, let's be honest. You know, when you first meet a group of women, you're not going to go and put your heart on your sleeve and just like let them shit on you straight away. Do you know what I mean? You're not. You're going to kind of suss it out, have a little bit, you know, conversation. Is there a bit of a vibe there? Do you want to kind of get to know them a bit more, etc.? But I mean, you're probably the best person to speak about, you know, all these kind of friendships and women supporting women, because you've been part of so many different groups.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So we need to hear about your experiences, babes.
Darling, last time I checked, it's called the Sabrina Show. I'm the one asking the questions. No, it's just really nice to get a different insight, because obviously I know what I've gone through in my life, and my experiences are totally different. It's nice for someone like yourself, like you said, you're entrepreneur, you run your own business, and you have been doing so for a really long time. Yeah. So the way in which you interact with people, meet people, is super interesting, because you may not have those outlets that I've been exposed to. So for me, what I'm trying to really understand with you is that, as well as having those level of friendships, but a lot of those your friends, I've noticed from when we've had our own personal chats, they're people that you've been friends with for a long time. Yeah. You know, so these are people, hardcore relationships that you've had for a long time, and now all of a sudden you're pushing yourself out of your realm to establish brand new relationships with people. Yeah. And sometimes that can be daunting.
It can be daunting, but you know what? When you vibe with someone, you just vibe. And nothing else matters. So although, yes, you could say but remember, so these friends that I've had in my corner for a long time, I've met them from social media. So they're not friends I grew up with. They are friends that I've literally met via my business on social media. So that's amazing in itself. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? They were once a client of mine and have become bloody besties, just like you. You tried one of my chocolate cakes, you're like, right, I need to go back to her. And since then, we've just not stopped.
That chocolate cake was everything.
So, but you know what I mean? It's like, so, and even now, going forward, like and it just comes from a conversation with a client, because I'm generally quite an interactive person and like to converse. So, and when you just vibe with someone, you just vibe. And I'm still making friends via them being clients of mine. And yes, okay, they're not friends that I would say, oh, every day I'm going to pick up the phone to them, like me and you, like, you know, I need to speak to you at least once a day. Yeah. But if I need something, or if I'm feeling a certain way, I can just say, hey, how are you doing? And they'll just know. They'll just know, you know, like, Jazz ain't feeling herself. She just needs to have a bit of a conversation. Yeah. Give her 5 minutes. And that's what you want. Like, come on, 40 years old I am now, yeah? Proud, 40 and fabulous, yes. But 40 years old I am now, and I have met so many people throughout my life. And there's so many people I know. But remember, they're not your friends. They are acquaintances. Yeah. And you keep people in certain aspects of your life because they're going to help you in certain aspects of your life. Yeah. That's not a wrong thing. It's not a bad thing. And I'm sure you are for them. But when you get to a certain age, yes, you're comfortable, but it's never too late to make new friends.
Going back a little bit, right to the very start, I remember when you first started saying everything that you said something along the lines like, it's really important to make friendships and create this sisterhood. However, I have to be the one to reciprocate that as well. Yeah. Have you been reciprocating, that sort of love towards your friends, or how you would like to, and if not, why?
I think I do try. I do definitely try my best. And I know when I don't, you pull me up on it, you know what I mean? You're like, where you been? Kind of thing. I do definitely try. And I think also that is probably why I might keep my friend circle quite small, because there's only so much of me I can keep giving. Like, let's be real, my kids suck the life out of me, bruv. By the end of the day, I'm just ducky. I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to be doing nothing now. But the women that I do keep in my life, I try to give them what I can give from inside me. You know, whether it's love, whether it's support, whether it's advice, or whether it is just for them to kind of, or whether it is just hype. Do you know what I mean? But I will always try.
And I think we have to be realistic. I think most women, they're realistic with their energy and with their time. You know, and I feel like the beauty of this age is that there has been times where I haven't spoken to certain friends for a long time because time, life, work, kids gets in the way. But when we do talk, it's like everything's normal. Yeah. And we're just right back then. I feel like those are the true connections that you have. Yeah. I feel like you don't need to pour so much energy into particular friendships and whatnot for it to survive. Yeah. The ones that will survive, and the ones that won't. And I think it's important to know that some people come into your life for a day, a month, a year, a season. Yeah. And that's all good.
That's all good. It's okay. It's okay. I mean, yeah, it doesn't have to be all the time. But you also have to remember that, you know, even if you don't speak to that person all the time or every day or whatever, your actual real ride or die is the one that is going to be there when you need them as well. And you're going to do vice versa. Do you know what I mean? Like, and for me, the friends that I do keep, they know me to a T, like inside and out. They'll know my darkest secrets to what's going on the surface. And that's what I want. I don't want no pussyfooting around friendship. I'm too old for that shit, man. Yeah. Either you get me for me. Yeah, don't get me wrong. If I've done something, I've said something, pull me up on it. Yeah. Tell me. Because I'm open enough to accept that. I mean, me and you, we've done it before. Yeah. And I'm okay with that. Yeah. And I think this is just part of growing up. Yeah. And experiencing the relationships and friendships. Not everybody's going to be your bestie.
And not everyone's going to like you. And not everyone's going to find you funny. And you know what? It's okay. And the ones that are going to find you funny and are going to love you are going to be the ones sitting on the couch with you. You're a mum. You're an entrepreneur. You're a wife. You're a sister. You're a sister-in-law.
I'm a daughter.
You're a daughter.
I'm a daughter-in-law.
You're a daughter-in-law.
I'm a friend.
You're a friend. You're a best friend.
I'm everything, baby.
You're everything and more. What I want to know is, how do you juggle it all?
It's very hard.
It's so hard. Like,
let's
not lie. You know, I feel like a lot of women are like, oh, you know, I schedule.
I just want to say.
I time block.
Yeah. That's you, babe. I'm starting to time block. Just do it. It's so good.
I do it for one day. I'm like, oh my God, this is like another thing added to my list. To the
list that's never bloody ending. Yeah. You have your list, you have a friends list, you have a kids list, you have a family list. The list just bloody goes on. Literally
and
goes on.
And they don't stop.
They don't stop.
But seriously, how are you juggling it all?
You don't. It's hard. It's bloody hard. Yeah. It is really, really hard. But it's amazing, man. It's an amazing journey, isn't it? When you've got all these kind of elements to who you are, because you are literally a living, breathing, walking, talking superwoman.
Literally.
Just saying. Yeah. For the women
say it louder for the people at the back, honey.
For the women that do all of those things, yes. And wear those hats. Let's just repeat them, Sabrina, isn't it? Human, female, mother, daughter, daughter-in-law, sister, sister-in-law. What else is there?
Entrepreneur, businesswoman, chat show host. You know, like, we are living, I would say, our best lives, but we can't sugarcoat things. Sometimes the struggle is real.
So one thing I do want to 100% say is that what you see on social media, it is just what people want you to see.
1%.
Literally, if that even.
It's literally 1% of people's lives.
Yes. It's just a glimpse. So what you're seeing a photo or a video, and that's just a glimpse of the good times or the good experiences or the fun things, you know. And behind that, there are dark clouds, there are dark days, there are lonely days, you know, and there are struggling days. So that's the one thing I want to say, because I think for everybody, especially in this day and age, and for women, like from 30 plus, even 25 plus, so young mums, because I had my kids quite young. I had my first two at like 26, 27, and then obviously Jay has come along and like more towards 40. It's very, very different. Yeah. Very different from then to how it is now. It's like you'll sit there and you'll go on social media, oh my God, she's living her best life. Look, her kids, they're amazing. They're having such a beautiful meal. And I'm just sitting here like, what the hell? Yeah. Kind of thing. So
I feel like Instagram is the one place where you see people going on the best holidays, eating the best food, wearing the best outfits, got the best hair and makeup. And you're like, oh my God, how do I compete with this? Or even if you're not competing, but like, how my life does not look like this at all.
It doesn't, bruv. Just to get ready for this today, I had to get mum to come and get Jay at 8:10, had my coffee by 8:20, jumped in the shower at 8:30, and then got myself ready and then left home. Do you know what I mean?
No joke.
It's no joke.
It's unrealistic expectations, you know? Yeah. Even with these like Instagram models, even me, you know, like since I've turned 37, I've really struggled with my age. I've really felt like I'm a young 25-year-old, but then when I look at my vessel, I'm like, oh no, I have my mum pouch, and I am a mum, and I have all the stretch marks and lumps and bumps and all the rest of it. And it's connecting the physical with the mental. Sometimes that's really difficult.
It's really, really difficult. I mean, I'm 40, Sabrina, and I still feel like I'm 16 sometimes. Do you know what I mean? And I think it's a good thing. Yeah. I always think it's a good thing. Young at heart, man. That's all I say. Like, you know, don't get me wrong. There's days when your body doesn't actually catch up. You know what I mean? And that's what's holding you back, because you're slugging through the day because you're that tired. But ultimately, you know, you want to feel young at heart. You do. You want to be that young person, that young mum. You want to be living your best life. Yeah. But I think it just, you wear all these hats, and, you know, other people have all these expectations because you are a mum, you are a business owner, you know, you are at home. So that's probably my biggest struggle, because I'm at home and I work from home. It's like, you're at home, you can do this. And it's like, well, actually, no, man. Yeah, I'm tired.
And don't you think, like, it's so refreshing when you see the odd people on Instagram that share the highs and lows of that?
Yeah, 100%. I think that's why, I mean, for me and you, when we started the Bossy Mums, that was one of the reasons. We were in the height of a pandemic, and when we wanted to have nice conversations, but truthful conversations. You know what I mean? That it ain't all sugar coated, it ain't all glossy, you know, glossy mirrors and lipstick kind of thing.
Yeah, and that's okay.
100%.
And that is actually okay. Like,
that's perfect.
Yeah.
Because that's life.
That is life.
That is life. Of course it is. It's not, you know, it isn't all glossy mirrors and, you know, pretty dresses and things like that. There's massive lows. And I think the more, you know, people understand that. I think in this day and age, more and more people are becoming aware of, you know, things don't feel right, or, you know, they're in a dark place, etc. Take it back 15 years ago. It wasn't so common.
No.
Yeah.
And why is that? Do you think people are, like, more connected with their mental health? They understand how important it is to put the forefront of everything. And, like, you know, when time gets tough, just put the brakes. Take a break. Take a minute. Are people doing that more?
I think they're trying to. I know I try to. Like, I know my triggers, and I know, you know, what's going to kind of set me off, and I'll try and take a step back. But I think, so two things, you know, obviously social media works, like we're just saying about Instagram's like one of the worst places to see just a snippet of someone's life, how good it is. But also with social media, it's become so apparent now, and it's very, very, it's very much shown, about mental health and the impact it has, and just signs, etc. And you see it. You know, I think this week's mental health awareness week.
It is, yeah. So I think it's the whole month of May.
Yeah. So you know, and it's people are showing it now and talking about it more. And I think that's what we need to become very, very comfortable with, is talking about it more. So I think it's definitely, that's shone a light on it as well. But also, as you kind of, you know, you're getting older and stuff, it's just actually understanding that when you don't feel right, and when you don't feel right, do something, speak to somebody about it. Yeah. And for me, that was probably one of the first things I did after I had the middle one. I think it was about 2 years in, that's when I started feeling anxiety, and I was like, okay, this isn't right. Why do I feel like my heart's going to come out my chest? And straight away I went to the GP, and, you know, they said this kind of thing, and I'd done different things about it. One of the things I'd say, as you get older as a woman, don't close off. Don't close off your chance and your opportunities to learn and teach yourself and evolve 100%. Because if you stay open-minded, the information, and we all know, you know, knowledge is power. The information you can take from people around you, strong people around you, even professionals around you, it's all power.
We're all learning.
But that's what,
at any age.
I mean, what are we seek, isn't it? That's what they say. You're learners. You're here to learn every day. Yeah. And I 100% believe every day that when I wake up, you know what am I going to learn today? You know, what am I going to be gifted with today? Because I 100% believe that, you know what, we're here on this planet to learn every day, whether it be through our children, whether it be for our friendships, whether it be for our businesses, whatever.
And the great thing is that we live in a day and age where help is
readily available
in your hand.
100%.
Everything you need is in your hand in terms of your phone.
Yeah.
You do a Google search, you need that therapy, you need that counseling, you need that whatever it is that you feel is going to get you up to par, help you to feel your best. It's there, it's readily available.
It's there, but not everybody kind of uses it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think not everybody is comfortable with it. You know, men aside, that's another species, but even women.
Men are another species.
Yes. But women, even some women aren't comfortable with it because they're not in tune with it or aligned to it. Or maybe it might even be that they're conditioned to kind of believe, no, you just crack on. You just carry on. You got shit to do, you do it. Don't worry about that. You don't need to think about that kind of thing.
And going on to actually conditioning, because I think that's really important, especially being like, you know, from an Asian background. There's loads of conditioning that we have had, and I feel 100%. Like we're the first generation that is starting to unpack that.
Yeah.
And we're starting to kind of actually look at that and say, no, that's not right. Maybe it's how we deal with our kids.
Yeah.
Maybe it's how we deal with ourselves, how we prioritize ourselves as women now. And I feel like lots more evolution is going to take place.
100%.
But do you feel like, because we're kind of the first generation that's really looking to it, there's a massive divide, there's a massive struggle in trying to take that conditioning out of yourself and look at things from a new perspective?
Massively. I would say, like, I look at you and you show me new opportunities. You show me new ways of thinking. And I love that about you. When I look at me, definitely conditioning was there culturally. It was there. And I might not be able to do that, 180 turn and change it around, but I'll be damn sure I'm going to live my life doing that for my kids. That's a massive for me right now. It's funny because I actually had this conversation with my mum a couple of weeks ago, and I was in my own little meltdown zone, and I was like, this is your fault. And she's like, what are you talking about? I was like, you made me get married, you made me have kids, and look where I am now. I'm not happy, I'm not living my best life. And obviously she didn't know any better. And you said that to me, you were like, Jazz, you know what, come on, where's she come from? She didn't know any better. Exactly. She's done the best she can. 100% right. And it's not my mum's fault, but obviously for us Asian women, I'm 40, so I am that next generation. It was very much, your life will begin once you get married.
Yeah.
If you're going to study fine. But once you're married, then joy ka na kalo.
Exactly. It's like life only starts when you get married.
Yeah.
You want to get married?
Exactly. Kids, once you're married. Holidays, once you're married.
You want to go out, you want to wear that skirt, get married.
That's exactly how it was. And I've kind of, I've changed it a little bit, and I've said to myself, right, you know what? Yeah, my kids don't need to get married. Yeah. I don't want them to get married. I don't want them to get married. If they choose to have a companion in their life, amazing. It's a blessing. Enjoy it. Love it. But don't think, right, there's a time limit. Don't think, right, 18 A-levels done, 25 degree done. What's the next thing? Marriage, kids. No. I want them to go out and live their best life. Yeah. I was very much brought up in West London, Hounslow, Southall area, you could say. And that's all I really know. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I don't want that for my kids. There's a massive world out there, man. Just go and live it. Yeah. Do the best. Jaya, like for me, obviously, because there's such a big gap between the boys and her now, I'm just thinking, she's going to be president, mate. She's going to be vice president. She's going to be running the world. And that's what I want for her.
So she moving to America to be president
no,
then?
I don't mind. She can do what she wants. But I don't want it to be for her. Because I have this conversation with hubby a lot. And I say, like, I kind of say to him, like, I don't want it to be for her what it was for me. Don't get me wrong. I fell in love with him. I chose him. Yeah. We had a family. That was our decision. But ultimately, what led me to that decision? Like, if I dated any guys before my husband came along, it was a case of, like, are they marriage material? Yeah. Are they going to fit in the family? Are our families going to kind of entwine? Is it going to work? Whatever person I would look at, that's the first thing that would come into my head. Right. So I knew, right, I can't be dating anyone that's not Sikh. They've got to be Sikh. They've got to have family. They've got to have a job. They've got all these things. No.
Yeah. The limitations were there. You knew what they were.
100%. 100%.
Yeah. And you don't want that for your children.
No. Yeah. I don't because...
So what do we do differently then to what our parents did?
I think it is having that open conversation and being accepting. So right now I'm struggling. Yeah. Struggling to be accepting of my kids with the choices they're making.
Especially because you've got a teen right now. I want to know about this because my kids are babies still. So you have teenagers. Like, you have to tell us, what are you going through?
It is proper hard, man. Like 13 going on 21, 31, you name it. Like, and again, social media, it's a massive influence in their life because these are boys, thinking that they're men. Yeah. And at the moment, the craze is being in your feminine, being in your masculine. Men should be taking care of women. Women should be doing this. And my eldest is very much that. And I'm like, I'm a feminist, bruv. What are you talking about? He's like, mum, no, you shouldn't be like that. Yeah. You just chill out. You just look after us. You just love us. And I'm like, no. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So that struggle is very, very real right now, and it's happening.
Going back to what we can do to help, and one of the biggest things you said is communication.
100%. I didn't really have an open communication with my mum and dad. Yeah. If I'm honest.
So what does communication look like in your household at the moment?
Right now, it's just screaming at each other. It's screaming at each other right now. But I'm working on it.
Yeah.
I'm working on it.
I think something that's really cute that you said to me a few days ago is that you are doing family reading.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit more about that.
So at the moment, we are reading a book called Why Am I Here by Tarsem Singh. And I feel because my boys, so Jay is obviously very small, so she's asleep when we do this, but the boys are very much at an age where they're vulnerable, and they're impressionable, and influences everything, and they're questioning things all the time now. So although I've tried to bring them up faith orientated, although I'm not 100% there, I want my kids to kind of know where they come from. So this book in particular, I thought, you know what, it's a great activity to do as a whole family. But B, the book itself is amazing. So for any young mums out there or families out there, this book, I would definitely say try and read it, because it questions your day-to-day life and what you're doing. And it talks a lot about slowing down the pace, living in the present moment, aligning yourself, and also what you're offering to the world as a service, because as Sikhs we believe in selfless service, and it talks a lot about, you know, service. What service do you offer? It talks a lot about mental health, and then at the end of each chapter, so it's not a massive book, it's a very, very small book, but at the end of
and
each
you're
chapter,
reading this with the boys, right.
And with hubby when he's not working, so I think he does 2 sessions with us, and I do try and do 4 sessions with them. And obviously we try and do it every day. It doesn't happen. We did last night, and at the end of each chapter it's really nice because it gives you questions, and then each of you have to answer those questions within yourself. So for me, that is open communication, because I've got to let them answer with no judgment. Take your mum hat off now, just let them speak. And then when he talks, I'm just like, what them all.
But is there, like, obviously I'm assuming that the questions are quite thought-provoking according to the chapter that's just been read.
100%.
So when they're answering, and obviously they're answering after just listening to the chapter, their answers has there been an answer where you're like, whoa, I did not know he felt like that, or that's super interesting, or oh, I wish has there been anything that's kind of caught you off guard?
No, because like, so with the eldest, I've been seeing this pattern for about 6 months to a year now, where he's very much turning into like a man, you could say, you know, and I don't like labeling it, but very much into his masculine energy. And yesterday, one of the chapters were talking about mental health and awareness, and, you know, talking is so important. And if you don't feel right, talk about it. And at the end of it, the chapter obviously gives you the questions, and it says, take this away from here. Like, what out of the 9 points, what is going to stick with you, and what are you going to, I wish I brought the book with me, but what are you going to do? And one of them was verbalizing like an emotional need or a feeling. And my other's like, right, well, that is not going to happen. And I'm like, what? But it wasn't new to me, because I know he's very much like, no, we don't need to show how we feel. No, I'd rather keep it to myself. Showing how I feel expresses vulnerability. I don't want to be vulnerable. And I'm like, but I'm your mum. You can be vulnerable with me. No, I don't need to.
Oh, wow.
So this is what I'm struggling with now. And yes, social media is good. Social media is bad. In this aspect, I think it's bad, because it's very much showing, because the craze is men being masculine, women being feminine. And they class feminine energy as, you know, being open, vulnerable, etc., and masculine energy, no, you know what, you shut off, you show you're a man, you do this, you do that, you provide. And I'm like, but what about your own mental health?
So obviously, you know, being a young teenager, you can be easily influenced. You know, you're going through peer pressure.
100%.
You're still discovering who you are as a person, and that is now kind of spilling over into the home. But don't you think it's amazing that you have the opportunity to kind of sit with him and have that debate of, okay, you feel like this and I feel like that. And sometimes it does end up in fireworks.
Oh, no, not sometimes. It's 100% all the time. He loves debating. He thrives off debating. And I'm just looking at him thinking, well, he ain't got my gene. I don't know where he's got it from, but he loves debating and he loves talking about it. The issue I have is to actually allow him to have that space. Because there are so many things that he says that I disagree with, Sabrina, and I am holding my hands like this.
So how do you deal with that?
Like, literally, I don't know. I really don't know. Like, it's hard because, like, I think to myself, man, Jazz, like, what have you done? You're not doing a good job as a mum, because it makes you question yourself as a mum. You know, that's not how you raise your child. And I was having this conversation with my husband the other day, and I was like, you know what, if I look in the mirror, or if I was telling somebody about my life story, I'd be bloody inspired, man. Like, I've come through so much, you know, trauma, turmoil, and I still find the bloody energy to get up and carry on.
Yeah.
But my kids, well, my boys are not inspired by that at all.
Yeah.
At all. They're just like, yeah, whatever.
Because I guess they see us in a different light.
100%.
Yeah.
I could be saying one thing. So this is the one thing I would say to any mum out there, who got slightly older kids. You could be saying something. They ain't going to listen to you. They don't want to hear what you got to say. You ain't right. You are not right. But
we only brought them into this world, sacrificed our bodies,
our life, our mind, our body, our soul, you name
everything, and they don't want to listen to us.
They don't want to. They're not going to. But I would 100% say use it to your advantage.
Yeah.
Because if somebody else, and this is obviously speaking from a mum of boys, but if you get another man into the life, whether it be their dad, even it's not sometimes not even so much their dad, but somebody else. And they said it. Oh, did you know he said this? Yeah, he was so right. I'm thinking, mother, are you serious? Like, I've been screaming. And, you know, but also right now, the boys, like I said, they're very impressionable. And hubby's obviously does everything to support us in every aspect he can. But right now, we're trying to find a balance where he's spending more time with them because they want to be around their dad more. Yeah. They want to be around male role models more. Yeah. So presently, like, that's what we're working on. You know, let's be around, you know, good male role models because I think that's what they need. Yeah. You know, we talk about women supporting women, but also remember, if you're a mum of boys, you've got to be able to support them. And I don't always have all the tools because I'm looking at it from a mother's perspective or a female's perspective, and they're seeing something else. Do you know what I mean? So
going back to saying how your eldest loves to debate, and you're struggling with getting him to debate, and what your opinions are and holding back. Do you feel like when Jaya is older, you're still going to feel the same way? Do you feel that she will have that fiery personality and you'll give her the space to kind of shine the best way?
I don't know how it's going to be. Oh, you know what? I actually get so anxious thinking that far ahead. Yeah. That far ahead. And I was actually saying to one of my friends yesterday when I was driving, I said, you know, it's shukriya that I've had her at the age I've had her, and there's such a big gap. Because in 5 years' time, Himmat's going to be driving. Yeah. He'll be picking her up from school. He'll be doing all the mum and dad things. I'll just be going for pampering sessions with her, hopefully. I don't know. Yeah. I really don't know. I'm hoping that she will see me as a role model. As much as I've tried to be the best version of myself and a role model for my boys, I've realised quite quickly at their age, that's not what they're looking for, or what they're inspired to be or see. Do you know what I mean? As far as they're concerned, I've just done my job as a mum. Yeah. I'm nothing special. Yeah. And whereas with JR, I think things will be different. Yeah. Because her conditioning will be different. Do you know what I mean? Things will be different for her. It's not going to be a case of, right, you know what? Yeah, you're going to study. Once you've studied, you're going to get a job. Once you've got a job, you're going to get married. Even if you don't get a job, don't worry about that. Just find a bunda. Yeah. Get married. It ain't going to be like that. No. I want her to have a career. I want her to be inspired and aspire to be something and be something big for herself. I want her to dream bigger than what she is. Yeah. Basically, that's what I want. Just like we sit here, you've got these dreams and you're like, you know what, I'm going to reach them. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Right now, for me, my dream is just being happy, being in complete alignment with myself, feeling peace. I want to be at peace. I love what I do. You know, I love what I do. I love people eating my treats and thinking, yeah, man, shit, that tastes so good. I love that. I get such a buzz out of it. And yes, I've had all these dreams that, you know, I want a shop, I want a bakery, I want to, you know, people to have my food here, this and that. It will all come. But just when the time's right. Right now, my time and my job is to be the best version of myself and be the best mum for my kids. And obviously the best wife for my husband. But yeah, that's for
all
me.
We can do is try.
100%.
Take it every day, you know, and try to be the best version of ourselves, or seek help or do things that bring us joy and get us closer to our passions, right? Yeah.
I mean, I hope going forward that Jaya... I do have that relationship with Jaya that she can talk to me openly. You know, I've two ends of the spectrum. You know, I've got family, very young girls that very much look at all they see in their life is how they look, their appearance, and it rubs off.
That's scary, though.
Very, very scary. That's another conversation for another day on this couch.
But just to jump into that is really scary.
It's horrible. It's really horrible. I mean,
like, I know that back in our day, like in our early 20s and stuff, from what I can remember, when we used to hit the daytime raves in uni, and okay, we can be into it. But as time has progressed, it's just getting younger and younger and younger, where you're seeing 9-10-year-olds now that are so into what they look like. Yeah. Are they fat? Are they thin? Contouring.
It's the makeup. It's the makeup,
the hair, everything.
Hair, makeup, everything. Even if you're just going to the shop, it's got to be did. It's got to be 100% did. And it's so scary because it's like you actually have nothing else that you're inspiring or aspiring to be. Like, literally all you're concerned about is how you look like. And these are close family. Yeah. And it really scares me because when Jay is around these people, it's like, oh, so-and-so's wearing makeup. And I've said to myself, okay, I can't comment on this particular family members because I don't know what Jay is going to be like. I don't know if she's going to be 9, 10. Like, already she's saying nail polish mummy or blusher mummy or something like that.
Yeah.
All I'm hoping for, and I say this to my husband because he's very anti getting her ears pierced. I want to get her ears pierced. He's like, let her make her choice when she's old enough, which is fair enough. But I just hope that if she follows and takes my guidance, that ain't going to be the be all and end all of her, is her appearance. Yeah. Like, I will not stop her from wearing makeup, but I want her to be thriving in her education, in her... I say it 100%. I say it to the boys every day, before they go to school, knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. I want her to be thriving in her education, in her career, be driven. And then if you want to go up dressed like, drag queen, by all means, do it. I don't care.
Balance,
darling, balance. But it is what it is. If that makes you happy, I'm not going to stop you. Yeah. But just remember, that doesn't define you. Yeah. That's not who you are. Do you know what I mean? When you wake up in the morning with bad breath and hair out here, that's who you are. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's be real. But you don't know what's going to happen now, innit? In 10 years. For us and our generation, we've seen so much change from having zero phones, mobile phones, to now smartphones, to everything on social media, to running our business from our phones. Exactly. Do you know what I mean? So you don't know what's going to happen in another 5 years.
You just don't know. Jasmin, you know what? It's been such a delight having you on the couch and having you at the Sabrina Show.
The Sabrina Show.
I like to end every conversation with the theme of what this series is all about. Okay. And for me personally, it's about pursuing passions and going for your dreams. Yeah. So I want to ask you, are you pursuing your passions at the moment? Are you pursuing a dream? If so, share them with us. And if you're not, why not?
I would say I'm pursuing my passions and my dreams every day. With my business, I love what I do. Yes, I get asked all the time, Jazz, why haven't you done this? Why haven't you done that? Why aren't you doing this? And yes, these are all really, really good questions. But right now, I'm happy with what I do. But one of the things that I want to 100% work on now is being happy within myself. Okay. So for me, the next part of my chapter is going to be about self-care, self-awareness, and self-alignment. So being 40 and going into my 40s with nothing but love for myself.
Oh, what a beautiful way of ending it. Yeah, loving yourself. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been an absolute pleasure catching up, doing our girl chat, our gossip. It's been amazing. Thank you so much for everyone for joining us today. I really hope you've enjoyed the conversation. I hope you've taken something away from it, and I can't wait to share more. Thanks for joining me on The Sabrina Show. And that's the end of this episode. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and remember to drop me a DM if you're interested in getting into the show. Instagram, _Sabrina Show. Hope to see you then.